Yeah, I'll be there. And Tony, listen, man, no hard feelings about what happened this morning. I know you're just doing your job. Yeah, all right, there. Bye. Hi.
Hi.
That was the DA again. He's asked me to be present when Ted and Christy are questioned.
I thought you told him it was your day off.
Yeah, I did, but I don't mind going in voluntarily to be there when he talks to Teddy.
How soon do you have to leave?
Not for a little while. What's up?
Well, I just talked to the doctors about Daddy.
Something happened? He's still stable, isn't he?
Yeah. But I'm beginning to realize what stable means. It means he could be in that coma for a long, long time. Indefinitely, I think, was the word the doctor used.
Indefinitely. I see.
I may never have my father back. At least not the way I remember him.
Oh, baby, I wish this didn't have to happen.
Yeah, a few days ago, you know, it's like everything was all right. He was hanging on. I don't think it's going to be that way anymore, and I just began to realize that.
Eden, I think sometimes you have to accept something like this in stages.
Yeah. Well, he knew this. He talked to Mama and I about it.
He talks about what?
About being incapacitated. He said that he thought it could happen and that he didn't want it that way. He said he couldn't live that way.
Well, he may not have to for long. I mean, he still could come out of it.
But what if he doesn't? What do I do? I don't think I could do that. I don't think I have the strength for all of this.
How can you say that after everything you've already done?
This is not a dream. This is not a dream where I'm going to wake up and he is going to be there and he's going to take care of me.
I know. I'm sorry, babe.
Good. They haven't found these yet. I don't even think they know they're missing. But when Eden and Jacqueline find out they don't have their thumb on Capital Enterprises anymore, and when Sophia and Eden find out that I'm still in the driver's seat, oh boy. Well, Doctor, I don't think I understand. Yesterday, you said that coma could be reversible, and now you seem to be changing your mind? Well, then he actually might not be coming out of it at all. I'm sorry, it's just a dreadful possibility to have to face. Well, of course, we have to keep hoping. Yes. Thank you. Oh, I'll be in to visit Cece in a little while. Yes. Bye. You're doing a good job. You keep up the good work.
Daddy would be so disappointed if he could hear me talking right now.
Darling, your father's never been disappointed in you a day in his life. He may have given you a hard time now and then, but he's always been prouder of you than just about anybody else.
Well, he wouldn't be proud now.
You think Cece thought this was going to be easy for you?
You have to do what has to be done. That's how he feels.
And that's what you do. You've always done that. I mean, it doesn't mean there's not going to be times when things close in on you a little bit, but I mean, give yourself a break. You're taking a crash course in big-time corporate politics here. You have a right to be scared.
I'm not scared. I'm paralyzed. You don't know how much I don't want to walk out that door. I just want to stay here where I'm safe.
I understand that it is safe here, and I hope we always remember that, darling. As long as we're alone here together, no one's going to stand in judgment of us.
I love you so much.
I love you too. If we can be what we need to be here, then we can be what we have to be everywhere else.
I'm not so sure.
Eden, why do you think your father has the kind of faith in you he does? It's the same thing I have in you. You have what it takes. Listen to me. You can look any one of these big-time corporate fat cats right in the eye. He's going to know inside of 2 minutes that C.C. Capwell's daughter's no pushover. They don't believe you. They can come talk to me. I'll tell you, I got some stories I could tell.
All right, watch it.
And that's more like it. That's the spirit.
Yeah, that's me. Tough, confident, worldly wise. My whole life, I've just relied on my father to always back me up. I mean, I didn't do anything he wasn't there. It's like I did all these outrageous things when I was little. I mean, I would jump off the high dive when I just learned how to swim. I'd jump on the back of some half-wild horse just to impress my friends. And they'd all be saying, Eden, you're crazy. Eden, that's stupid. And there was my father. And he would always say, go ahead, try. And so when I would belly flop or I'd get thrown in the dust, he was always there to congratulate me for trying. It was as if he cushioned every fall, so I barely even felt it.
Darling, maybe I could start taking over in that department.
You already have. It's just so unfair to you. We should be thinking about wedding plans now, and we're not.
You gotta play what life deals you. And right now, it's just not dealing us a wedding, that's all.
And you refused that assignment. You shouldn't have done that, but you did it because you thought that I needed you. And I do need you very much.
And I do need you, too. I don't think you realize that sometimes. I need you, Eden. This is gonna be a long goodbye. I'm sorry. Hello? Just a minute. You're not here, right?
Is it the hospital?
She's resting right now. Could I take a message? Jack, listen, man. Seriously, she's exhausted. I just as soon have her call you.
I gotta take it.
Here she is.
Jack? Yes, what is it? What's wrong? No, I see. Well, I thought he returned the papers to you. Yes, I understand. Okay, I'll be right there. I'm sorry. I've got to help him find these papers that take Gina, Brandon, and Mason out of the corporation.
You gotta do that now?
Yeah, he wants to announce to the public that we have a new leadership at Capital Enterprises, and we can't do that without the papers. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay.
Thank you. Thanks for giving me the strength to go out there and tackle all this again.
All in a day's work, darling.
What are you doing?
I don't want to know you're here. I need a favor.
What?
I want you to contact Christy this evening and tell her that I need to talk to her, okay? When I get back from the interrogation.
Why?
I don't have time to go into this. Will you do this for me?
What is it? Your lawyer won't want you to see Christy for some reason?
No, he's just being extra cautious. He said that Christy and I are not supposed to see each other until after we get questioned, but I mean, that's ridiculous.
I think you should take his advice.
I don't. Will you do this for me, all right?
Haven't you helped the girl enough? I mean, why do you want to risk getting into more trouble? You've already had nightmares.
You do not forget about a terrible accident.
Oh, what? So the two of you are just going to get together to relieve the horrible moments you had? Is that it?
I wouldn't put it exactly that way, but yes.
So why do you want to talk to Christy? Are you sure the two of you aren't sharing something you don't want anybody else to know about? Because that sure is the way it's beginning to sound.
I told them everything there is to tell about the shooting. There is nothing more to say.
Are you sure?
I am sure.
I'm just doing this because I'm worried about you.
All right. Will you talk to her?
I'll do what you say only because I love you.
All right, all right. I love you too. But don't worry about it. Everything's going to be okay.
Have a seat, honey. Can I get you something? Christy?
I thought I heard you two.
Hi, Mom.
They sure did keep you down at that police station a long time.
Yeah.
I'd have been down there, but I was afraid I'd get in the way. I felt so bad. I was worried I'd, just go to pieces or something.
Mom, I think Christy understands. How about some tea?
I'll make it.
No, I'll get it. How does that sound?
Sounds fine.
Okay.
I wasn't telling the whole truth just now about why I didn't come down to the police station. I didn't come because when I heard what happened, when I found out it was Steve, I couldn't look you in the face. Oh, honey.
Mom.
I'm sorry.
Mom,
I'm
don't cry. It's okay.
Sorry. All those years I couldn't understand why you kept running off. And it was your stepbrother. He's the one who made you want to stay away.
It started when Mary left, and I didn't know how to tell you.
Well, of course you didn't. He probably made you feel like it was your fault. That's how they do. These people, these sick people like Steve and his daddy. See, they're all twisted up inside, only they turn it on somebody else. Oh, why didn't I see it? Why didn't I know what was happening to
Mom,
you?
because the same thing was happening to you. Almost the same thing anyway. I mean, with Willard slapping me around like the way he did.
But I was supposed to be looking out for you. You were my baby. You needed me.
It was a bad time for all of us, Mom. We just didn't know how to help each other.
I don't know how you can ever forgive me.
It's not your fault.
Well, I started it, Christy. I married that man who's no better than an animal, and I might have known his son would be the same way.
Mom, you didn't know.
Oh, I just think anybody else would have figured it out sooner, or they wouldn't have let it go on like I did. When I was drinking, Lord help me, I just got blind to things.
Mom, you're not drinking now, and I'm not running away anymore. It's over. It's things that we used to do, all right?
How did you ever get to be like this?
What?
This big old heavy load you've been carrying around all by yourself. Instead of wanting to get back at all the people who never gave you a hand when you needed it, you're just saying, let's forget it.
Mom, all I want is a chance to start over. And I hope that the police and the judges and the lawyers are going to let me do it.
What do you mean? Now, that Ted was a real friend to you. Seems to me like you did have a responsibility to protect him, and I don't think anybody's going to see it any other way.
I hope you're right. I hope to God that you're right, Mom.
Dad's will?
Yeah, Jack sent it to Dad the day he got ill. Now...
Hello?
Hello. Now, it was the day of his stroke. Daddy talked to Jack on the phone. He said he would read the papers and sign them right away.
Is there anything I can do?
No, thanks.
Look, I think we should really check, maybe in the study first.
All right, well, let's hit it. I don't have much time. We gotta do this thing quick. Is the interrogation room on this floor?
Have your name, please?
Yeah, Ted Capwell.
They'll be ready for you soon. Take a seat, please.
Oh, Julia.
Hi.
They're not questioning Christy today, are they?
No. Actually, the reason that I'm here is to see how you're doing.
I'm fine.
Good. Now, you know that the purpose of today is to nail down your account of the shooting. Go over the details again, and then they need to determine whether Christy's facts coincide with yours.
They will.
Good. That's very good. Because as long as the stories match, there won't be any
Is there any
problem.
reason we're going over this again now?
Actually, I talked with Lakin earlier. She's very worried about you, Ted.
Talk to Lakin, what for?
She's my niece. We live together. Occasionally, we
You're
have a
trying
word
to
or
dig
two.
things up on me, aren't you?
Let me ask you again. Is there any reason that Lakin is especially concerned with you right now?
Well, maybe because we've been through one hell of an experience. Now, Christy and I are a little shell-shocked. Now, is that so weird?
No.
Now, in fact, I think we would feel a little bit better if we could at least talk to each other. I mean, as it stands now, we're being kept apart from each other like we're some sort of hardened criminals. Now, isn't there something you can do about that, huh?
This is standard policy. This is the only way we can reasonably determine if there's any collaboration. All we're looking for is the truth here. Just make sure you give that to us, and there won't be any problem, right?
Well, you know, it sure would be nice if our attorneys had a little more trust in us.
Yes?
I'm looking for Mason.
Oh, you're Christy Duvall's sister.
That's right. I'm Mary Duvall. Yeah, I've been trying him at his apartment, but I can't reach him, and I thought maybe he was here.
No, he's not here. Why do you want to see him?
Well, we've been in touch with each other since the trial, and he actually offered to help me find Christy when she disappeared, and I sort of assumed he'd contact me now with what's happened with Ted and Christy. I just want to talk to him.
Well, if you're looking for a lawyer for your sister, I don't think Mason's available.
Oh, no, she has a lawyer. I'm here as a friend.
A friend, and I see.
Yeah. Do you know where he might be?
Well, last I heard, he was out drinking, and I wouldn't be surprised if that was true, but I have no idea where he is.
Well, thank you.
No, wait a minute. If you see him before I do, will you tell him that his family really could use his help? His father's in the hospital. I'm talking about the family business. There's no one around to run it, so we're in a kind of bind.
You know, to tell you the truth, I'm very surprised that he wouldn't be here during a crisis. I'd think he'd be presiding over everything.
Oh, well, he was kicked out of the house not too long ago. Last he heard, he was disinherited. But you see, a lot of things have changed since then, and Mason knows nothing about it. So I want to make sure that you have him call me as soon as you see him.
Okay.
All right.
Is that this case or another one?
Wellington homicide. Familiar with it?
Yeah, I read the report.
It's an interesting case.
If you like hatchet murders.
I was speaking from a legal standpoint. We have a man here with an airtight alibi, but he's the only one with the means and the motive for doing in the victim. There are no witnesses to his alibi. There's no reason to believe that he's lying, or that he even would. And yet...
Yet something's not quite right.
Exactly.
You think he's lying?
Oh, I know he's lying. Gut feeling, that's all I've got.
I know what you're talking about.
You told the DA you wanted me to handle the questioning of Christy and Ted. Why? Why me?
I've heard you're good in these situations.
That's it?
That and I need a woman.
Oh. I've heard that single bars are great for that sort of thing.
I meant a woman for the job.
I know you did.
So what...
All right, I don't have much time. Cruz, you're insisting I use Felicia on this. I'd like to know why, since either you or I would be perfectly capable of handling the questioning.
I like her, Tony.
There better be more.
Well, I mean, I think it makes sense that a woman should handle Christy's questioning. I mean, Christy remembers you from the trial and me from the investigation, and neither of us fondly, I'm sure. Felicia could get to the bottom line with a lot less aggravation. And from what I understand, she has a good nose for the truth.
Best nose in the business. All right. Felicia, you know what we're after?
Yes, we want to see if this story of theirs is the truth. They're saying self-defense, but you've got an entry wound in the back.
Exactly. I'm afraid the girl may have shot him in cold blood. It's happened before. A man rapes a girl, abuses her, and she turns around and gets even.
Well, all I can do is check their stories.
You can do more than that, Miss Dalton. You can come out of there with the truth.
You didn't happen to see any papers, did you, Gina?
No.
Not even these? The paperwork to initiate Dad's divorce from you?
Sorry.
You know, the interesting thing about these is that they're not signed. You wouldn't happen to know anything about that, would you?
Maybe you forgot to sign them.
Oh, I doubt that. He hated you. You gave him every good reason.
Sophia gave him a better reason. Maybe when he found out about her, he realized I wasn't that bad.
You know, I think you have something to do about this. The papers are missing. These are the only ones that are left.
Oh, don't look at me.
You should have been thrown out of this house a long time ago. But better late than never.
Are you gonna throw me out, Eden?
Brandon is the only reason that you are in this house, and Brandon is no longer a Capwell. Your little meal ticket is no longer connected to this family.
Don't you dare talk about Brandon that way.
He's a darling child, Gina. But unfortunately, he no longer has his claim to fame and fortune.
What makes you think that? Cece never blamed Brandon for any of this. Cece adopted Brandon, and his last name now is Capwell.
Maybe. But that's not going to stop me as far as you're concerned. I plan to do everything in my power to remove you from these premises.
Go ahead, do whatever you want. Won't help. I'm still married to your father. And as long as I am married to your father, you'll have to respect me as a family member.
Maybe you're a family member today. Whether you will remain that way is a question. As for respect, you're not going to get that from me or anyone else.
I better get rid of these papers. Up in smoke, Cece. All those best laid plans, those voting rights you wanted to take away from Mason and Brandon. Poof, like magic. They're gonna get everything back. And nobody's gonna stop us now. Not even Eden. Oh, Mason, you're gonna thank me for this. No. Wait a minute. I shouldn't be too hasty. This is my safety net. And if Mason ever wants to get greedy, which heaven knows he might want to do... Nope, I can't burn these yet. I have to keep them in a secret place, so if Mason doesn't treat me right, I'll be the only one who knows where they are. And I know the exact place.
Ted's in with the DA right now telling his version of what happened. Then afterwards he wants to see you.
Yeah, I want to see him too, but I don't know if we should chance it.
He said that you're not supposed to see him until after you've been questioned.
My lawyer would kill me if she found out I was even thinking about it.
Why is he so desperate to talk to you then if everybody thinks it's a bad idea? You seem awfully anxious to talk to him too. Christy, if you ask me, it sounds like you're trying to get your story straight.
So what are you doing here if that's what you think?
I don't want to think that. I want to believe both of you. But I have to get rid of this feeling that you two aren't being straight with me.
Well, I'm sorry, Lake, and I don't know how to help you.
Why don't you start by telling me your version of the story, and then it'll clear things up, and I'll set up this meeting, and it'll make me feel a lot better.
That's ridiculous. You've talked to Ted and you've read the papers. What am I going to tell you that you haven't already heard?
I don't know, maybe nothing. But that's what I need to know.
You are really something, Lakin. You don't even believe Ted. I thought you guys were supposed to love each other.
I do love him. That's why I'm worried about him.
Isn't trust supposed to figure in there somewhere when you love someone? It's obvious that you don't trust Ted, or you wouldn't be coming to me playing games, trying to find out if he's lying or not.
I don't think that anybody wants to be lying, Christy. Just forget it. Never mind.
Wait. What? Ted needs you. He needs you to believe in him right now.
If I didn't believe in him, I wouldn't be here trying to help him. I was trying to help you too, but you make it impossible.
Lakin, wait. I do need to see Ted. I have to. Couldn't you just set it up somehow? I don't think that we'll be able to get through this if you don't.
I'll make the arrangements.
Now, this is just a tremendous waste of the taxpayers' money. That's what it is, all this time, expense, the interrogations, The investigations, the paperwork, everybody in this room knows those kids are innocent.
Well, I certainly do hope they are, Mr. Lee. I really do.
Oh, sure. Right. Just another assistant DA who hates trying a case and possibly making a name for herself.
Oh, come on now. Let's not get crazy about this. It's just a matter of asking a few questions and getting a few answers, all right? Thanks, Joe. Ted, this is Felicia Dalton from the DA's office. She's going to be asking you to go over your story again.
Sit down, Ted.
Okay? You'll be fine, Ted.
Good.
I know that this is a real drag having to repeat this so many times, but it is important. So think before you answer, and let's stick to the facts, okay?
Okay.
Let's go on record with the phone calls. Christy called you from her mother's house in Ventura. How many times?
Twice. The second time she sounded very scared, like somebody was after her.
So you went there?
Right.
Well, if you got there, what did you talk about?
Well, first of all, she was very scared of me. I mean, she thought I'd be upset about her, about all the lies she's been making about me. So I, first of all, had to convince her that I was not going to hurt her. Then after that, I asked her about the rapist, who he was, and if indeed that's who Christy was afraid of.
How did she respond?
She wouldn't tell me.
I see. You were with her, how long? 2 hours? Longer?
Longer.
Could you be more specific?
I don't know, maybe 3 hours?
Maybe longer?
Maybe.
3 hours is a long time, Ted. A lot can happen. That's long enough to plot a murder. Maybe Christy needed you there for a reason. Maybe she needed you there for her plan to murder Steve. What about Steve? I mean, gosh, I bet you don't like him very much. I mean, you couldn't have. After all the hell he put you through during the trial, I bet you hated his guts.
Miss Dalton, let's not put words into his mouth, shall we?
Ted, did you talk to Christy about anything else but the rape?
No, I didn't. I mean, I talked to her about, her, how she grew up and her parents and stuff like that, but, I mean, she wasn't going to tell me anything important. I mean, at this point, I had no idea Steve was the rapist.
At what point did you?
After he was dead, when Christy told me.
Let's go back to the shooting. Ah, yes, you went out to your car. It wouldn't work. Then what happened?
I went back to the house. I stopped at the window. I looked inside. And that's when I first saw Steve. Okay, so his back was to the window, so he didn't see me. And well, now, okay, first of all, at this moment, I was not scared or worried or anything. I mean, I had no idea that he was the rapist.
So you went in?
Yeah, and well, he turned around, and that's when I saw the gun in Christy's hand. Now, she was...
So you saw Christy's gun first?
Yeah, but he said to me that I was right on time, and that's when he pulled out his gun.
And that's when she shot him?
Yeah.
Was he moving toward you when she shot him, or was he standing still?
No, he was moving toward me.
How fast? Average walk? What?
Slow walk. I couldn't move.
Why?
I was frozen. I was scared to death. This guy pulled out the gun. He was going to shoot me. I mean, well, that's the exact moment is when Christy's gun went off, and then Steve, he just fell to the floor.
How long was he conscious?
Not long. He moaned a little bit, but he didn't say anything. And we tried to help him out. I mean, Christy went and got some stuff to, put over where he'd been shot, but I mean, he died. We tried to call help, but it was too late.
So how many minutes would you say there were between the time he was shot and when he died?
1, 2, maybe. I wasn't really thinking about the time.
Well, of course not. Let's go back to the moment when Steve turned to you with the gun. You had no idea that he was any threat.
Christy hadn't told me the truth yet. I mean, I couldn't have known.
Of course not. So then why did you think that he wanted to kill you?
Well, I didn't at the time. I mean, I had no idea. I mean, I know now because it was Steve's plan. I mean, it was to kill me and then make it look like I had raped her and killed her, and then Steve got there too late to save her.
That's an odd plan, don't you think?
Well, look, the guy was crazy.
Oh, yes, well, that's easy enough to say, but I happen to have worked with him, and the man seemed quite sane to me. And then, in view of all the facts, don't you find it kind of strange that Steve would try to kill you while Christy was holding a gun on him?
Well, I guess he didn't think that Christy could use the gun. I mean, Christy told me what he said. I mean, he thought that Christy loved him and would never hurt him.
He turns his back on her. The man who raped her, the man she hated more than anything in the world, he turns his back on her. She's holding a gun on him, and he doesn't think there's any danger.
But the guy was crazy, all right? I can't explain it. I don't know.
I can. I can see a much more believable situation. Christy hated this man, this abuser of children, and she wanted him out of her life forever, and she couldn't take it anymore. So in cold blood, she shot him in the back. And then she took his gun out to put it in his hand to make it look as if he were going to shoot you. Or you put the gun in his hand.
Now, that is not what happened, all right?
Well, that's the only story that makes sense.
Well, I was there.
Well, of course you were there. You were there with Christy. And Steve comes in. He comes into a trap she set.
Look, it was not murder.
Ted, do you realize that if you were lying for her, you become an accessory?
Well, I'm telling the truth, okay? We both are.
Does anyone else have any other questions?
No, I don't think so, no.
Okay, Ted, that's all for now.
All right, Ted. Let's you and I have a little talk.
So, did you hear the truth?
He's an honest kid. Unfortunately, even honest kids lie. No, I think it's with Christy's story that we'll be sure. One inconsistency, and we've got him.
Hey, how did it go?
Okay, did you talk to Christy?
I can't believe you.
What?
You can't answer a simple question without asking how Christy is?
It's just important.
Why, Ted? Tell me the truth. What, did the DA pop a question at you that you couldn't answer, so you have to meet with Christy to make sure your stories get straight?
The questioning went real well. Jack just said I did a great job. Now, you know I want to see Christy. Now, just tell me if you talked to her or not.
I talked to her, okay? Come on, follow me.
We've been at that for quite a while. Why don't you take a break?
Well, it's a big job.
Yeah, that's from the earthquake.
Yeah, well, we've got to still tear out a lot of this wall.
Well, before you start on that, take a little rest. I tell you what, the cook will make you a wonderful lunch. Why don't you go back to the kitchen right over there?
Okay, Jimmy, that's the best idea we've had all day.
Okay.
Thanks.
My own little safety deposit box. I don't even have to pay rent.
Oh, there you are.
Hi.
Hi. This is embarrassing. I've been thinking about you all day, and I just couldn't wait till 3 o'clock. I had to sneak out of the station and come over here.
I'm okay.
Yeah, I can tell. What are you thinking?
I was thinking about Daddy. About how disappointed he was when he found out Brandon wasn't his grandchild. I wish he never found out.
That's one thing you can't take on yourself, Eden.
I want to make it up to him. Cruz?
Hmm?
I want you and I to give him a grandchild.
You mean that?
Yes.
You just took my breath away.
Is that okay with you?
Okay with me? I've been the one who's always wanted a passel of kids.
How many's a passel?
I don't know. We're gonna start right away, or you want to get married first?
I want to get married first.
Yeah. I don't know what to say. I love you, baby. I love you. Nothing in the world will make me prouder than having a baby with you.
Well, when Daddy gets better, and he will get better.
I believe that.
When he gets better, I want you and I to sit before him. And I want to pat my fat belly and say, Danny, Chris and I were giving you a grandson.
Well, let me put it to you this way. She's the most beautiful girl you probably ever laid eyes on, and she's got that look on her face right now like she wants to have a baby. Yeah, you'd know if you saw her. Here she is now, man. Ain't it the truth? Thanks.
Hi.
Hi, you're 15 and a half seconds late. Don't do that to me. And look how... Wait a second. I thought we were going to be spending some time practicing making babies, maybe till next week.
I can't stay.
What?
Remember those papers I told you about that we were looking for?
Yeah, you didn't find them, huh?
No, we didn't find them, but we have to keep looking for them. I assume we'll try to figure out what to do in the next 2 hours.
Mm-hmm. Is there anything I can do to help?
No, there's not. I think we're just going to have to hash this out on our own.
Well, okay, then maybe you could call me later then, and we could get together for dinner afterwards.
I think this is probably going to go pretty much through dinner.
Oh. You know what Jack Lee said to me today?
What?
He said he felt sorry for me because he was just about to whisk the most beautiful girl west of the Sierras right out from under my nose.
Well, I feel flattered.
I felt like rearranging his face.
First, the plaster has to dry, then they paint, and that's all there is to it. The papers can stay inside, warm and dry and out of sight. If Mason behaves himself, they can stay out of sight forever.
Hello? Mason, where have you been? I've been looking everywhere for you. What? Oh, well, I didn't quite catch that. Mason, are you all right? Have you been drinking? Okay, look, just tell me where you are and I'll come pick you up, okay? You don't sound like you're in any condition to drive. No, wait. Mason, let me talk, okay? Listen, you need to be with your family right now. Yes, you do. Listen, I went over to your father's house today. I was looking for you, and I talked to his wife. I can't remember her name. Gina, right. And Gina said to tell you that you have to call her immediately because she was talking about you being disinherited, and she said that everything's changed, and you have... No, that's what she said. Everything's changed. Well, whether you believe it or not, you really should be with your family right now because your father's very ill and families have to stick together at a time like this. Well, of course they're your family. What do you mean? Who's Pamela? Mason, I don't really think that you're in any condition to go looking for someone at this point, do you? Look, why don't you just tell me where you are? Well, no, of course I'll be here. I'm not going anywhere. I don't know what you mean by that. Wait for you? Wait, don't hang up. Did you say wait for you?
You said Christy would be here.
She is.
Where?
Will you relax? I didn't want to leave her out here in plain view for your entire family to trip over. Christy?
Oh. Christy. Like, and you are great. I can't thank you enough for this.
I'm doing the right thing.
You are. Christy and I are gonna need a few minutes alone. Just a few minutes, okay?
You're asking me to leave?
Please, try to understand.
Oh, I see. I've served my purpose. Okay, I'll just leave you two alone.
Like, and it's not. Look, I just want to talk to her for. Look, we gotta go over this thing fast here.
What did they ask you? Did you say anything that we didn't already discuss?
Just one thing. Now, they want to know, and this is kind of a weird question here, they want to know how long it took Steve to die after he was shot.
And you think they'll ask me the same thing?
Wouldn't be surprised.
Okay, what'd you say?
Well, I just tried to describe the sequence of what happened, okay?
Yeah.
Hearing the gunshot, seeing Steve fall, and then hearing a moan. He didn't say anything, I just moaned, okay?
Okay, yeah.
Now, it was 1 minute, maybe 2 minutes at the most, from the time he was shot to when he died.
Okay, 1 to 2 minutes. Is that it?
Yeah, that's
Are
it.
you sure it's all?
You can remember that, right? And plus everything else we've already covered.
Yes, I'll remember. Oh, I just feel so much better having talked to you and knowing that everything went okay.
But it is going to be okay. It's not going to be any trouble talking to them, I promise.
I hate you having to lie for me.
Well, I don't think we're really lying here. I mean, you're admitting that you shot him, and you and I both know that however the gun went off, you saved my life, and yours.
Still, I know how hard it is for you.
Well, it's hard on you, too. And look, if we just keep sticking together, we can get through this thing.
Will we?
Yeah, we will. We have to.
Well, Santa Barbara returns at the same time tomorrow afternoon, here on Sky One. In half an hour's time, it's day 2 of the fantastic Brady Brides. First, though, after the break, Christopher Biggins starts his daily search for that wife of the week. Don't go away.